Lettuce. I'm talking about lettuce.
What about?
I'm just trying a shorter intro. Sometimes they say that shorter is better. They say condense things, and that's better for comedy.
Yeah, I mean that's generally true, but also you gotta complete a thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Period. Boom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was good. Period. Boom. Yeah. That seems like longer than you needed to be.
Okay, I don't really understand.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to do something. I'm trying to zhuzh up the podcast a little because people have been writing letters that like give us more zhuzh, and so I've been trying to zhuzh it, for you guys.
What is that? So zhuzhing means eliminating words?
I guess I don't know. I tried to look it up and I couldn't find. I don't know how to spell it for one thing. And, and then I couldn't find like any sort of definition for zhuzh.
Yeah, how do you spell zhuzh?
How would you spell zhuzh? With a J? I tried a J. I tried a G. I tried a T and a Z just in case.
It looks like ZHUZH.
ZHUZH.
Yeah.
I forget it. I don't want to zhuzh anything anymore.
Yeah.
If you're going to spell it like that, I'm not going to zhuzh anything.
Okay. Well, I mean, how else would you spell it?
The only thing I'm going to zhuzh is the word zhuzh.
Okay. How are you gonna modify it?
I'm just gonna zhuzh it up a little bit. Hey, listen, I want to take a moment to welcome everybody to this podcast. Now officially the greatest podcast of all time. Congratulations to you, Craig. Congratulations to me. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. Greatest podcast of all time. And I want to congratulate everybody.
Because I've been listening to the Severance podcast, and it's pretty good.
No, that's a TV show. That's a television program. It's on Apple
There's
TV.
There's a podcast, though, also.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But congratulations, everybody, because it's a big deal, and I know you guys are really excited. And let's face it, privileged.
Comedy Bang Bang is also entertaining for me.
Yeah, no, that's good and everything, but it's not the greatest. I mean, we are officially the greatest podcast.
Why are we
ever.
What made us greater?
It's been announced.
We don't even have special guests on our podcast.
That's one of the things that makes it special. See, all these other podcasts, they rely on guests and often celebrity guests just to get people listening. Do you think anybody would listen to Smartless if they didn't have a celebrity guest? Then it's just like these three nobodies that nobody's ever heard of.
No, they're already celebrities. Yeah. Jason Bateman.
So why do they have a celebrity guest if they're already celebrities?
Because it's a talk show. They set it up like a talk show where you have celebrities on and you talk about that celebrity.
So they
talk about each other.
All right, so they talk on that show. You're saying, okay? Then you know what? I mean, maybe that's the greatest podcast. I don't really know. I don't know the rules, but if they talk on that one, then that might be the greatest one.
Well, we talk on ours as well.
Yeah, I know. That's what put us ahead of everybody else. You would listen to a lot of other podcasts. They're completely silent.
Greg,
because
can you name another podcast besides Smartless? Can you? Do you listen to podcasts?
Yeah, there's one that I listen to on cassette. It's called Blank Tape. And I'll pop that in, and it's a 60-minute podcast. It's got two 30-minute sides. And I'll pop in Blank Tape, and I got to tell you something. Those hosts never remember to say anything. It's
because it's a blank tape.
That's what they call it. And it's
not even a
silence.
podcast. That's just a tape. That's a podcast happens over the internet. It's,
you can broadcast your Blank Tape on the. I don't know how you broadcast it on the internet, but I just listen to it on a cassette player.
I mean, honestly, that does sound like a pretty awesome podcast.
It is pretty good. I mean, I haven't been that entertained since I watched a movie, also by the same name, Blank Tape. Yeah, I used to get it on VHS.
Okay, blank. Yeah, that's just a blank VHS tape. That's
and it's really, the cinematography is beautiful. It's all in black and white.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of black and a lot of white. Like all little pieces of black and white all on top of each other, and they sort of move in a line. And it's great. It's really great, and it looks like it's snowing a lot. It's like
that's
like
static.
There's a lot of snow.
Yeah, that's static.
Yeah.
That just happens when a TV isn't playing anything.
Well, all I know is it is very entertaining.
An old TV, like these days, these smart TVs. Whatever happened to static? I miss it.
Yeah, no, I mean that's one of the things I miss it too, and I love nudity and like all the stuff, So I just that's
well, nudity still exists. I mean, that's
does it though? Think about it.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. I love nudity, but not at nude beaches. There, I just think it's weird. And you go to a nude beach, and it's never the nudity that you really want to see, is it?
No, you don't want to see random nudity.
No, you don't want to see just like random people all naked and stuff. In fact, I'd prefer it if no one's naked at all from now on.
No, so you can. What about showering? Can you take your clothes off to shower?
No, I don't think that's necessary.
What about they might need to take your clothes off for surgery?
I'm sure they can just like, if you have, let's say you're having surgery on your abdomen.
Yeah,
well, shirts come up. You just lift your shirt up a little bit, you know, and they don't even have to put you to sleep. You can literally hold it up for the surgeon.
Okay,
hold it up.
You're saving money that way because then the person who had the job to hold the shirt up.
Yeah.
Is,
you don't have to pay that person, and you don't have to pay the person who gives you the drugs that make you go to sleep. They're called a phlebotomist, so you don't have to pay the phlebotomist.
The anesthesiologist, you mean?
They can also be called that, but it's those are two different terms for the exact same thing.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
So,
and
but what define nudity
is another like psychologist is another word.
If I have a shirt on but I'm bottomless, am I nude? Or,
no, that counts. That's fine. As long as you have a shirt on or something, then it's fine.
Okay.
My son still likes to be naked. By the way, he's 9 years old and he still likes to run around the house naked. But we have asked him to please stop spreading his butt cheeks and making his butt talk to us. we have asked him. We're like, you know what? I don't think we need to see that. It's you don't need to do that.
Yeah, I feel like that probably gets old.
It does, and like he gets in trouble when he does it in school. So they're always like, put your pants back on. So it's just
that's really bad if he's just still doing that.
Speaking of my son Charlie wrote a joke, and I would like to share with you the joke that my son wrote, and I'm so proud of him because he wrote a joke that everyone can enjoy. Mm-hmm. Are you ready?
Well, I mean, what did I need to do to get ready?
You need to have a sip of coffee.
Okay, I'm going to have a sip of coffee real quick. Right. Okay. I'm drinking. I'm just going to keep drinking coffee, Greg.
That's great. Congratulations. I've already had my 2 coffees. Listen, it's it's already 9-10 a.m. for me. It's probably way earlier for you. That's right. That's why you're drinking coffee.
That's right. Yep.
But it's 9-10 in the morning for me, so I've already had my 2 cups.
No, Greg, it's because I'm a terrible sleeper and I get up early to take my daughter to school and then I go back to sleep. That's why. So I just woke up not that long ago.
You know what you should try doing? Try sleeping better.
Yeah. Okay. I've never thought of doing that. Never thought of trying that.
If you sleep better, then you'll be more rested.
Sure. I mean, I end up these days. I have ended up getting enough sleep because I go back to sleep. So it's pretty good.
Hey, you know what? Yeah. And I'll tell you something. My wife did the same thing yesterday. She came home from dropping Charlie off at school. And that's my son, by the way, Charlie.
Sure,
And then she went back to sleep. So Charlie wrote this joke, and I'm very proud of him. What did the hobo say to his wife?
What did the hobo say to his wife? What, Greg? What?
Honey, I'm homeless.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
My son wrote that.
That's a good joke.
Own brain.
That's a good joke.
With his smart joke-writing brain.
That is a good joke. I mean, you could tell that he probably is inspired by your humor.
You think so?
I think so.
And look, that's a joke that you guys can take. You're welcome to borrow that. You can tell it to anybody. When you meet homeless people, you can tell them that. They love jokes that might pertain to their own lives.
That's a great... Did he use the word hobo?
Yes, he did.
That's great because then you don't say homeless twice.
Yes.
It's not like...
Well, I will say this. His first draft, he did say, what did the homeless person say to his wife?
Okay. Because that you saying hobo and then that's like smart joke writing.
Yeah. Well, we did help him. We said, you probably don't want to say the word homeless in the setup when it's part of the punchline. So, and then he changed it to hobo, and I was very proud of him. Originally he said, what did the homeless person, what did the homeless man William say to his wife Gary? And I'm like, okay, well that's confusing also because you use the words William and the names William and Gary, both men, but you call Gary the wife. So anyway, I had to have him change that. Yeah. And also he didn't say what, he said why, which is a weird set. Why did the homeless man William say to his wife Gary? And I'm like, why what? Yeah. What do you mean why?
Greg, so did you just write the whole joke?
I wrote the whole thing for him. I did. Yeah. I did. Yeah. In fact, he didn't come up with any of those original words.
You haven't even talked to him today at all.
I've never met him. I hear he's very nice.
Okay.
Yeah. I hear he's a really nice guy. And he's been saying apparently to Kim, that's my wife, that he's been looking forward to meeting me. But you know what? You don't want to rush these things.
I mean, he's 9 years old. You said
he's only 9. So you don't want to rush these things. I don't want to be a negative influence on him during his formative years. So I'm going to wait until after his mid-20s when his brain is fully formed, and then we're going to have
influence.
Then we're going to have a terrific relationship.
But why do you assume you'd have a negative influence?
You've talked to me.
Oh, you're okay. You're actually, you know what? Good call. Good call. Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm like. Come on.
Sure.
Come on.
Yeah. But that would be that is a good opening stand-up bit, I think. I really do.
You think so? What? Yeah. The hobo joke?
Yeah, the hobo joke. Yeah. Plus, you're saying hobo, which is just a funny word.
It's great. And it's going to go over really well if you do it in the town of Hobos, which is also known as Hoboken. It's just a town of nothing but hobos. That's why they call it Hoboken.
No, that's not true.
It is true. It's called Hoboken. You can Google it, Hoboken.
Yeah, I know it's I know it's a true city.
Yeah.
Or town.
See? Okay, so we're saying the same thing. We both agree.
No, we're not. Where is it though? Is it Hoboken, New Jersey?
New Jersey.
Yes,
it's in New Jersey.
Yes.
That's where all the homeless people live in New Jersey.
Sure. I'm sure there are homeless people there.
You know, the funny thing that homeless people like to say to each other when they're from New Jersey is like, "Oh, I'm homeless. Oh, yeah, you are homeless. I'm homeless also. Well, where do you live? Oh, I live in New Jersey. Oh, I'm homeless in New Jersey also. Which exit?" oh, those New Jerseyans.
Wait, I don't get it.
Well, they always say which exit in New Jersey. They say which exit. If you're also from New Jersey, then you say which. And let me tell you something. People from New Jersey love hearing which exit, and then they'll be like, "Oh yeah, this exit number 3."
Yeah, I mean that joke wasn't as good, Greg. The which exit.
No, it's not even a joke. It's just, that's what they say. That's literally the thing. Here, Google New Jersey which exit and see what you come up with.
No, okay, I'll Google it. Yeah. I don't doubt that's what they say, but that wasn't as good of a joke. I'm just saying.
So you liked it?
I mean, I liked it somewhat.
I feel like you're being judgy right now, and no one should be judgy except an actual judge. That's their job.
That's the whole thing we do. That's the whole thing we do.
That I say things and then you judge what I say?
Yes.
That seems outrageous. That just seems outrageous to me.
But actually, it seems like the trope is not which exit, it's what exit.
God damn it. So I fucked the whole thing up?
You did. Yeah.
Okay, look, I'd like to take a moment to apologize to all of our listeners, not the viewers. I'm not going to apologize to the viewers because I don't feel like they deserve it. But the listeners,
Why?
Don't get me started on the viewers. But the listeners,
well, I'm kind of curious.
No. Listen, the listeners, they're really paying attention. The viewers, they're just like, oh, maybe I'll look at it, maybe I'll listen to it. No, none of that.
Okay.
The listeners are focused on what I'm saying with the words from my mouth hole. This is my mouth hole right here.
I think watching a person speak with video accompaniment might even be helpful for listening. Okay, all right.
Those are words. Right. Those are sounds from my mouth hole. Anyway, so I want to apologize to all you listeners. I don't even remember what I'm apologizing for now because too much time has passed.
Which exit?
That doesn't make sense to me. I don't remember that. Anyway,
okay. Wow.
But anyway, I want to just apologize for whatever it was. Anyway, so I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I hope you'll forgive me. I'm sorry. Okay.
That's not a good apology.
That's a good way to apologize.
No.
You want to zhuzh it up. You want to add a little zhuzh to it.
Add some sounds, some random sounds, and be very whiny.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my good friend Razorblades let me know that Paul McCartney and Elton John are both knighted now, and I'm sure that, like the rest of you, I am just so excited to see them joust.
That's. I don't think that they do that when they're knighted.
I think that's part of it. So Paul McCartney and Elton John are each going to get on their fancy horses, and they can afford nice horses too.
Well, they could, I'm sure. They might even have nice horses.
They're very wealthy. They're going to get on their big fancy horses, and they are going to joust to the death. And I think Paul McCartney will win. Not that he's stronger, but he has a slightly larger target.
Because
Paul McCartney's thin.
And Mick Jagger, is he tall? Which one's taller?
Mick Jagger? You want Mick Jagger to joust with them also? Has he been knighted?
What did you say?
I said Elton John. Paul McCartney.
I don't know.
Elton John.
Whatever. Same thing.
Oh,
I saw Mick.
Now you owe an apology.
I saw Mick Jagger present at the Oscars. I have Mick Jagger on the mind.
I know. I saw that too. We watched that last night. Listen, that'll just go to show people how far behind or how far ahead we are in recording this. We are recording this on March 4th, and this on 2025. This episode will not be released until late July 2027. So it is.
We're not that far. No,
we are way ahead. I don't know how many episodes we release at once, but
once a week. So, were you thinking like once a year or what? Wow, you checked out. You just checked out. Wow.
I got stuff on my desk. I got stuff to look at.
Just so you know, Paul McCartney is taller than Elton John.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but thinner. He's thinner. That's what I'm saying. I feel like the joust, I think is what it's called, will miss him because he's just a skinny little man, skinny tall man.
I think health-wise, he might be doing a little better than Elton John.
Is that right?
So
okay.
I mean, from what I've seen.
Okay. Well, listen, I hope you get better, Elton John, with whatever's going on with you. I don't know if you have a hangnail or what's happening, but I hope that you get some clippers and you just clip off that little bit of skin and that everything's okay. Don't clip it too close. You don't want to make your cuticles bleed.
I just asked who was healthier, Paul McCartney or Elton John, and it didn't tell me. So
AI didn't know?
Well, Google AI didn't know. I could ask ChatGPT if you want. Then it didn't answer. Google didn't answer. But
you should do that.
Because ChatGPT will be forced to answer. So
okay.
Oh, and it's searching. It's trying.
Is it?
Boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen? I don't know. This is so exciting. I don't know what's going to happen.
It gave a bunch of sources and a bunch of stories that I'm not going to read, and then it said, wait, something about eye yoga?
Eye yoga? Okay. Look, I'm already losing interest.
Paul McCartney practices eye yoga.
Oh, like in his eyes? EYE?
Yeah.
Eye yoga. Which is what? What does he do? He looks up, he looks down, looks left, he looks right. Oh, I just did yoga.
Maybe. I mean,
did eye yoga.
Learned on a trip to India. He learned eye yoga.
Wow. Eye yoga also would be the yoga app made by Apple.
It would, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
How to do eye yoga. That's the name of this episode.
Oh, wow. Is it really?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Or eye yoga will make you healthier than Elton John, because apparently Paul McCartney is healthier than Elton John, appears to be, according to ChatGPT.
I don't like either of these titles.
Okay.
Can we just call it titles are stupid? Because I think those titles are stupid, and I think all titles are stupid.
Greg, we just had a series of 120-some horrible titles, and just because I came up with this one,
it's not a
you
good
think
one.
It's stupid. Okay,
it's not
sure.
a good one.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So we'll call it titles are stupid. But if you want, I can put it in all caps.
Okay.
I'll make a note of that.
I think we probably already did a title like that.
I don't think we did.
Okay.
Should I spell stupid correctly, or should I spell it STOOPIT?
Stupid?
Yeah.
Yes. You should do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that. All right, good. I'm glad that we worked that out. This is, sometimes these things are important.
Well, they are. You do need a title. It asks you for a title, so you need to put one in. I remember early days of YouTube. That was annoying to me because I was just making a series of dumb things and putting it in a video, and then I'd have to upload it, and there'd be a slot for a title. Like, oh, what am I going to call this stupid thing?
Yeah, now you have to think. Now you have to think of your title before you make the video. I mean, it's down to the point now where the title is so important. If you can't think of a good title for your video, better just make a different video.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Well, I just assume that the video's not going to do that well, and then just live with it. That's.
Well, I don't think that's what Mr. Beast does. I think if you were Mr. Beast, you'd make sure that you had a good title and a good picture thumbnail. Is that what they're called? Before you even shoot a video.
Oh yeah, that's what you do. You come up with the most ridiculous thing that would be a title, the most ridiculous title, and then do that ridiculous thing.
Yeah,
that's basically it.
So I have to tell you something. I have to brag just a little bit. I worked yesterday. I shot my first time ever to shoot a Lifetime movie. I had 2 scenes in a Lifetime movie. I've kind of always wanted to be in either a Lifetime or a Hallmark movie, and I'd never gotten an audition for one. And finally, my first audition for a Lifetime movie, bam, booked it right out of the gate.
Nice.
Sort of a funny, awkward part in this movie, and had a good shoot yesterday. And it's an awkward scene in which. And I can't tell you
what the movie's
called. It's not a nude scene, but I was opposite a young woman who I had to fire because she is too provocative. She showed off her chest fat too much.
Her boobs?
I mean, yeah, you can call them that or whatever. I mean, but let's just call it what it is. Let's just call it.
You
chest
had
fat.
to fire her?
Let's just call it chest fat because that's what it is. It's just ladies have chest fat, and men are often very attracted to chest fat.
Okay. That's what, but I'm confused about a few things here. Like, first of all, chest fat, that's a terrible, terrible idea to call it chest fat. Well, I mean,
that's what it is. Isn't it? Isn't it just a big scoop of fat? Like, or usually 2 of them, like 2 big scoops of fat on a lady's chest?
Sure.
Would you prefer to call them chesticles?
What are boobs made of? I'm going to ask.
I think I think they're made out of chest fat.
Okay, but
can we call this episode chest fat?
It's fatty tissue, connective tissue, and glandular tissue.
Yeah, chest fat, just like I said.
Sure.
Can we call the episode chest fat now?
Sure. Okay, fine. Let's call the episode chest fat.
Okay, but because you know what, I think titles are stupid. Is a stupid title. We're gonna call it chest fat.
Yeah.
Okay. That's better.
Listen.
Yeah. Eye
yoga, I think, is a great title. People will be like, "What's eye yoga?" and they'll want to click on it. But,
do you want to call it chest fat eye yoga?
No, let's just call it chest fat.
Okay,
just
you
chest
got
fat.
it. Okay, I'm so glad that we have finally come to an agreement on that because now it is time for the
No.
Patreon
I want to know,
only
what did you have the ability to fire this person? Why did you have the? Okay, fine.
That was the part that I was playing. Starting now.
This portion of 2 Guys Talking About Lettuce has been edited out for your listening inconvenience. If you wish to hear the complete, unedited version with the bonus talking, be sure to visit patreon.com/2 Guys Talking About Lettuce. And now, back to the edited, not as good version of the podcast.
Okay, that's the end of the Patreon-only bonus section. We hope you enjoyed it. Oh my God, it was great. We talked about some things.
Yeah, there were some words said.
We said, did we say words? Do you remember when you said words and then I said words and we kind of had like a sort of a back and forth exchange
like a word
of
off?
words. Like a word off. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we had a word off.
We sure did.
Man, that was exciting.
You could call it a conversation.
Yeah, I guess you could call it that. Do you remember? We lost Gene Hackman now over a month ago. By the time this was released, we lost Gene Hackman. But do you remember when he was in that movie, The Word Off?
No.
I thought that was great. I believe that Francis Ford Coppola directed that.
Now I have to think of that would be The Conversation. The Conversation.
Well, yeah. I mean, I call it The Word Off.
Okay.
But Francis Ford Coppola, by the way, if you don't know who that is, that's Gia Coppola's grandfather. Apparently, Gia Coppola's grandfather also directed movies.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Who
knew?
He more well known for it, actually.
Than Gia Coppola?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't even know what movie.
I think you're thinking of Sofia Coppola. Sofia Coppola is more well known for it. She's
more well known than Gia Coppola. Yes.
Several movies.
Yeah. I don't even know what Gia Coppola has directed. I'm going to look that up real quick.
Yeah, you look that up.
Okay.
Gia Coppola just directed an Oscar-nominated film.
The Last Showgirl?
That is correct.
That was nominated for an Oscar?
It was not nominated for any Oscars.
Okay, sure. Okay. I've never heard of the movies that she has directed.
Well, let me just say something. The Last Showgirl was surprisingly good.
Well, good. Good. That's good. I'm glad that she's good.
Yeah. I just watched it because I knew that there'd be some nudity in it. And as I said earlier, I love nudity. I'm a big fan.
You don't like it.
I do. It's one of my favorite things. Nudity and billionaire celebrities jousting. These are my two favorite things. In fact, if you could get them to joust nude, I think everybody would want to see that.
You know what? That does sound amazing.
If Sir Paul McCartney and Sir Elton John just got on horses nude, and the horses were also nude, oh my God, everybody would watch that.
I mean, the horses, I expect the horses to be nude, actually.
No, usually horses, they have like I think it's called a saddle. They have a saddle on them.
Yeah, sure.
But a nude horse has no saddle.
Okay, that would be uncomfortable to ride, I think.
I think a man especially doesn't want to get, or even a woman when you think about it. I don't think a man and a woman do not want to get on a nude horse when they're nude.
Oh my God!
I think it'd be really uncomfortable for both men and women.
I think even
now
if
that
the
I think
horse
about it,
isn't
worse for
nude,
women.
Yeah, but I think even if the horse isn't nude, it still would be difficult. In general, when you're in public and doing things, you should probably wear clothes.
I guess so. Especially if you're at a nude beach. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody invited you to take your clothes off at a beach.
That's a place where you could be nude.
Okay, all right. Then let me think of something else. Like at a massage parlor, no one wants you to take your clothes off when you go get a massage. If anything, put on extra clothing for the cushion. More cushion for the pushing.
No, that would make the massage worse, I would think.
If you have more clothes on, then when they're massaging,
their option. Yeah. They could put clothes on it and getting a massage.
Let's say you have most people have like a big fur coat in their closet. Next time you go get a massage, put on the big fur coat, and then that way, and they're so soft, aren't they? When you feel that animal fur right next to your skin. Your naked skin.
I mean, I don't know that I've never had a massage while wearing fur. In fact,
but you've been naked and you've picked up like a raccoon and just rubbed it on your chest, right?
No,
you haven't done that. Oh, okay, you're missing out. If you've not been naked and rubbed a raccoon on your chest or your thighs, you're missing out. Because I mean, nothing feels better than that. And that's a little tip to all of our listeners. Nothing feels better than that.
That first half of what you just said, starting with if you've never, and then nothing feels better than that. That's a YouTube short right there. That's 7 seconds long.
Great.
Let's do it.
Great. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to edit that and I'm going to put that up on my YouTube channel today.
Okay.
So people will get a sneak peek at something that they won't hear on the podcast for like a month. We're like a month ahead of time now, 3-4 weeks ahead of time. Ahead of the game.
It's kind of amazing. I've never been ahead of anything in my life.
It's pretty impressive. You know what else you've never been ahead of? Lettuce. You've never been ahead of lettuce. See how I brought it back to the theme of the whole podcast. I know. It was good. I know.
But you don't know. Speak for yourself. You don't know that.
No, I know for a fact you've never been ahead of lettuce. It's not possible.
How do you know that?
You cannot be ahead of lettuce. You're a human being. Just like many of the listeners to this podcast, you are a human being.
You know, you're being a naysayer. Here's what you sound like. Nah, you can't be ahead of lettuce. Nah. Like that.
Wow. So naysayers actually say the sound nay?
Yeah.
Nay. You can't be ahead of lettuce. You're a human being. Nay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Horses are also naysayers.
That's true. They make the sound neigh, I mean, depending on how you would interpret the sound, because the sound is more like that.
I remember one time I was working at a bar and a horse walked in, and after I said, "Why the long face?" He responded, "Nay," and I'm like, "Why are you such a naysayer?" I just remember it was a special night. We had a really special conversation. And then I kept saying, "Get your hooves off the bar," because that's just rude. That's just bad manners.
Oh, so this was a rude horse.
This is a rude horse. Guys, if you're listening and you are a horse, when you go into a bar, don't put your hooves on the bar. It doesn't behoove you to do that.
Oh, man, the joke keeps going. Ah,
there's more, too.
Okay. Well, let me saddle up and listen.
Oh, God, that was my next one. I was going to do a pun on saddle, and you ruined it. Oh, no. Now I don't know what to say. I'm just going to make sounds.
Oh, no. That ended up being way better, actually.
Did it? That's what I do when I run out of horse puns. When I run out of horse puns, I just go.
You become a gremlin. You become a gremlin. Okay.
Don't feed me after midnight. That was not a gremlin, by the way. That was a Saudi Arabian prince. Do not feed me after midnight, because he's trying to lose some weight, and he knows if you eat too late, the calories are just going to stick because you're going to go to sleep pretty soon and not going to get any exercise, burn those calories off.
That's right. Anyway. They'll convert into fat. More likely.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but that's what people say.
I think it is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've noticed that, like, if I eat a big piece of cake right before I go to bed, first of all, I don't feel very good. And then second of all, just gain a lot of weight. Like if I eat a huge piece of cake, like you're talking about like a quarter of a cake every night before going to bed.
I feel like it has less to do with when you do it. It's just the amount.
Let's say I eat like a half a cake. Let's say I eat get one of those big 3-tier cakes.
Yeah.
Cut it in half, like a wedding cake, Cut it in half.
Oh my God.
Diagonally, at an angle. And then
you don't have to describe how
I eat half of a whole of the 3 tiers of a wedding cake.
Yeah.
And that little plastic groom on the top, I'm going to eat him too.
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah. So eating plastic is that's really bad.
I know, because it has microplastics in it. You never want to eat an actual piece of plastic because it contains microplastics.
Yeah, that's the thing that's real bad about it.
They're bad
for
microplastics.
You. Yeah.
If you swallow it whole and then poop it out whole, you might not get many microplastics, but the acids in your stomach might break down that plastic a little bit.
You'll still get some, yeah.
Yeah. So you know what, guys? Just don't do it. Don't see that groom at the top of that wedding cake?
Yeah.
If you're listening right now, if you've got AirPods in or whatever they're called, and you're listening to this while you're at a wedding reception, and you see that groom at the top of the cake, don't eat that.
Yeah. And also, I don't think they're going to want you to. I think they might want to keep that. So that they would probably be very mad at you. And also, if you eat the amount of cake he's describing, they'll be mad at you.
Have I talked about this? I think I may have. We've done, I don't know, 600-700 episodes of this show now, so I don't know what I've talked about.
20 something.
But did I ever tell you what my favorite prank to do is when you go to a wedding?
No.
You go to a wedding. You take a piece of white cake with you. You just go to the store, get a piece of white cake. And then when you're at the wedding, you get one of their fancy cake plates. This is long before they've cut the cake.
Sure.
And you put your own piece of cake on the plate, and you walk up to the groom and the bride, and you're just like, oh, this cake is delicious. And they're like, what? Because they turn into seals.
Yeah. Wait, they turn into seals?
Yeah.
That's
can you tell by the sound?
Like Navy SEALs?
They go, and they start clapping their fins.
Okay.
And then you realize, I'm not at a wedding, I'm at SeaWorld.
Oh, so the whole time you were at SeaWorld?
It turns out you're at SeaWorld the whole time, and then the employees are like, sir, you can't you can't eat cake near the seals.
Yeah, they'll eat the cake, and that's
they might eat the cake, or you might get crumbs in the water. I don't know why they have rules at SeaWorld. One of the rules at SeaWorld apparently is abuse the animals.
Yeah, there's that whole documentary about it.
Yeah, there's a documentary about that. I have not been to SeaWorld since then.
fun fact about my wedding. It was a morning wedding, and we didn't have cake. We had donuts. We had a tower of donuts.
Well, I would know this if you invited me, but you didn't, so I don't know.
I knew. Guess what? I knew this is how the conversation was going to go, and I prepared something.
Let's hear it.
Fuck off. That's what I yeah.
So that's not designed to make a person feel good.
Oh, I'm sorry. What I meant to say is we weren't that close of friends at the time, Greg.
Okay, well, now that makes me feel bad too because I felt like we were the best of friends.
Oh, really?
And when you asked Darren to be your best man instead of me, is his name Darren?
Yeah. Yes, Darren.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Then I was was your best man's name Darren? You don't remember your best man? You don't remember who your best man was, do you?
I didn't have a best man.
What?
So, yeah.
So there's still time you could ask me?
I could. I probably won't, but I could.
This is going to be a special moment for everybody listening. Here we are, episode 612 of Two Guys Talking About Cabbage, and Craig Benson is about to ask me to be his best man for the first time, and I'm very excited. Go ahead, Craig.
Greg?
Yes.
You're a good friend of mine, and if I were to get married now, you would be invited to the wedding. You would be invited to the wedding.
So I'm your best man?
Well,
best man.
I mean,
I'm your best man.
I don't. You.
I'm
I
best
don't,
man. Best man. I'm your best man.
There are other people I've known much longer.
I love it. I love it. Craig just asked me to be his best man at his next wedding.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh my God, I am so excited for you to end whatever is going on with you in China and marry somebody else so I can be your best man. This is great.
Okay.
This is great news.
Hopefully my life falls apart. All of my other friends leave me because I did something terrible, and my family leaves me, and then I will have you as my best man because you won't care if I do something terrible.
No, because we're best friends. Your best man is your best friend, and if I'm your best friend, of course I'm going to support you with whatever you do. You know,
whatever I do.
You go out, kill a bunch of babies. I'll be like, I'm sure they had it coming. You know?
Oh my God! See, this is a good friend. You're a loyal friend.
I'm a loyal friend to you. So you know what you might want to try while it's still legal. I don't know how long it's going to be legal with the current administration. And this is really nothing to joke about. But you might want to try.
But you're going to joke about it.
You might
want
to try a gay marriage to another man while you still can. Is all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess it's something that I never wanted, but I also don't like the idea that I wouldn't be able to. So
yeah, exactly. Like no one wants rights taken away from them. Like I think if a right has been granted, go ahead and keep that right.
Okay,
that's just the way. That's the way I am.
I feel like if enough people in society decided this right is okay, maybe we don't take it away. Maybe we don't
exactly, and that's why and everybody agrees with that, and that's why we will never lose something like Roe v. Wade. You know, we'd never lose that.
Yeah, of course. Oh my God. Okay.
I use the slurping sound as a way to accentuate the irony of what I had just said.
Okay.
Do you like irony?
You really ruined the subtlety of that.
I did?
You just explained the whole thing. Yeah,
do you like irony, though? Are you a fan of irony?
I love irony.
Good.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. A lot of people don't like it, but I don't mind it at all because sometimes your shirts get really wrinkly, and you've got to irony. Yes, I made Craig put his head down, you guys. For those of you who are just listening, I made him put his head down and shake his head very subtly.
The very beginning of your question about irony, I was like, I hope he doesn't end up with some joke about ironing. Maybe he'll do something else.
Yep.
Greg.
But you knew it might be coming, and then all of a sudden it was here. Oh, by the way, hang on. Gary Busey just told me that's the best joke he's ever heard in his life.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Mr. Busey.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much.
It wasn't you eliminated the ing from ironing and you just put a y at the end of it.
That's right.
That was a ham-fisted joke, Greg.
Just like Gary Busey did. He did that with his own career.
Oh yeah. He sure did.
Yeah.
Gary Busey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably why he liked the joke so much.
My daughter doesn't call me Dad right now. She calls me Craigging. So.
Craigging?
Yep.
And why does she do that?
Because she likes to play around with words all the time. So.
Oh man, they are fun to play around with, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I played around with a few words in my day when I was younger. If you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
There were a few words I played around with. If you know what I mean.
You still do. You make puns. You manipulate words.
I
say words
sometimes I'll take a little weekend off. Take some words to a B&B. Somewhere.
Sure.
Like in Vermont or Massachusetts, one of those places where you get a real
That's
B&B.
kind of far. It's kind of far from where you are.
It is far,
That's the
but
other side of the country.
Take a little vacation with my words. Have a little word vacation. Play around with those words.
Okay.
At the B&B. And
I feel like you could go to a B&B closer.
And the next morning, no, they're all Airbnbs. In Vermont and Massachusetts, they have real B&Bs. So then
there's B&B in Chicago.
The next morning, you go to breakfast because that's what the second B is in B&B.
Sure.
It's breakfast. By the way, Airbnb, they don't give you breakfast.
No.
They should just call it Airbnb. Anyway, we talked about that before also. So, all right, so the next morning, you go to breakfast. You're sitting at breakfast with your words, and you're introducing yourself, and you introduce your words to all the other people who are there, and people are sort of looking at you, and you realize, last night, the walls are kind of thin in this house. The words and I, when we were playing around, we were a little too loud, maybe. Made a little too much noise in the room, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay, so that's the problem with an Airbnb or just a B&B.
Yeah, because people know. They know what you did last night, and they're like, there's the guy in room 7. That's a big B&B if it has 7 rooms.
That is big.
That's a big one. That's really big B&B.
I think they exist that big.
But not many. Usually you get 2, 3, 4 rooms. 7 is a lot of rooms in a B&B.
Yeah, I've not stayed in a lot of B&Bs in my day. Have you?
Well, I have, but now I feel like Airbnb has just totally fucked them up. They used to be fun. You'd go and book an actual B&B. Now, it's just a bunch of jerks with like, oh, you got a room in my apartment. Oh, great. Can I use your Keurig coffee machine? No, you can't. I only have 14 pods. I don't want you to...
Again, Mr. Magoo is doing an Airbnb, huh?
I guess that's who it was. I thought he was turning into a sheep. I thought that guy was like part lamb.
Okay. So do people turn into animals a lot with you? Is that an issue?
When they do, you have to silence them.
What, you just go shh like that?
Yeah. Didn't you see that movie? Where Jodie Foster goes to visit what's his name? Bill Hamberson, the famous actor.
Yeah.
Who's in Silence of the Lambs?
Anthony Hopkins.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Sir Anthony Hopkins, who's been knighted, who will eventually joust someone. So she goes to visit him, and he's like, bleh, and she's like, shh. And she has to shush him like 3 times before he finally silences.
Yeah, and that's the whole movie?
The rest of the movie is silent.
I don't think you've seen Silence of the Lambs.
I'm pretty sure I have. If that's how I remember it, I'm pretty sure I've seen it. I might have just dreamed it. But some movies you can tell what they're about just from the title.
Okay.
Like, I don't need to see this. It's just about a bunch of lambs being silenced.
No, I don't even think you don't think you see any lambs in the movie. I think.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. I would imagine you'd see lambs and they would be reasonably noisy.
No, it's from Jodie Foster's character's past. It's Agent Starling's past.
Starling? So it's like a sci-fi movie?
No, that's just a name.
Starling.
That's no, it's just a name.
Beep bop borp. I am a robot. Welcome to the Starling. Beep bop.
Oh, so you have seen it. You have seen it. Yeah. Okay.
It's got robots. It's in space. There's a bunch of lambs who are making a bunch of noise. She goes, shh, and then they go, they're quiet.
Yes, exactly.
It sounds like a great movie. I would watch that. Before I don't know, I wasn't interested, but now that I know that it got sci-fi and stuff, then I'm into sci-fi.
Sure.
It sounds good.
No, there's no sci-fi. It's there is night vision. There is night vision.
Yeah. So, is there a bunch of chest fat in the movie? Because I do like chest fat in movies.
It depends, I guess, on how you define chest fat.
The only movies I like to watch are movies that either have chest fat or when someone cuts someone's face off and places their face on top of their own face.
That does happen in the movie.
Oh, that's in that movie? Great. I'm in. I'm totally in. If that happens in that movie, I'm totally going to watch it.
That's the only movie that I can think of that happens. That probably happens in other movies.
Well, I mean, it happens in plenty of movies.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever saw my dinner with Andre, but
I did. But it doesn't happen in that.
No, during the dessert. If you probably just turned it off before the dessert, but during the dessert, Andre just reaches over and with his butter knife, he cuts off Wallace Shawn's face. And he puts it on his own face, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm eating dessert. I'm Wallace Shawn."
Inconceivable.
Yeah. It's my favorite part of the movie.
That doesn't happen.
I do like that part of the movie. So yeah,
that would be a nice surprise. But
a nice surprise. Quote: a nice surprise. Gene Siskel. Yeah, there you go. Those are the types of movies. I watch movies where people put someone else's face on their own face, or if their skin is like dry and they rub a lot of lotion on their skin. You know, if they put the lotion on the skin, or else they face some sort of ramifications if they don't.
Yeah.
Those are the kinds of movies I watch.
Okay. Does that happen in that movie? I don't remember.
You don't remember it puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again? You don't remember that song? It puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. Real song, not a joke.
But that's not in a movie.
They didn't use it in the movie, but they should have.
Yeah. Okay. So you must be disappointed with a lot of movies then.
I'm disappointed with any movie that doesn't use that song in the soundtrack. See, that's why I loved Wicked so much, because in the movie Wicked, they use that song. Finally, it's a big musical number. And everybody's putting lotion on their skin.
No,
and they are getting.
I saw
moist.
The movie. I've seen the play. I've seen the whole thing, and there's no. That song
you probably saw the version with the green lady, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not talking about the green lady version. I'm talking about the real version. The one where everybody puts the lotion on and they get
it's the whole movie is just putting lotion on your skin?
Yeah.
Why is it called Wicked?
Because it's wicked cool to do something like that.
Or do they wick the lotion off of their body? Is it wicked, not wicked?
I'm sorry, hang on a second.
Yeah.
Oh, Gary Busey's letting me know that this episode is over now.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. According to Gary Busey, that is the end of this episode of Two Guys Talking About...
By the way,
yes,
my wicked pun...
Huh? Yeah.
My wicked pun
yeah.
was way better than your whatever pun you did earlier. That was bad. I don't know.
I'm not a fan of puns. I would have reacted to it, but honestly, I'm just not a fan of puns.
Oh,
thanks, everybody, for listening.
Irony, that's the one.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode of Two Guys Talking About Ironing. And we love you, we're attracted to you, and we look forward to seeing you next week right here on your local PBS station.
I'm talking about lettuce.
I am going to be on my local PBS station.
Talking about lettuce.
Right, that's why I said that.
Okay, although I probably will have already been on by the time this goes out.
Oh yeah, how'd it go?
I feel like I said some dumb things. I'm kind of embarrassed.
Okay, tell us about it next time. On the next episode, you will hear Craig talk about all the dumb things that he said on PBS. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next week.
I don't know that I will have already been on by the time we do the next one, but okay, yes.
Goodbye.
Bye.